Okay, Mayor, the meeting is yours.
Okay, thank you. Certainly want to welcome everyone to the Vinton Town Council meeting for this May 3rd. And as always, we will start by calling the roll.
Councilmember Lyles.
Here.
Councilmember Mullins.
Here.
Councilmember Stovall.
Here.
Vice Mayor McCarty.
Here.
Mayor Gross.
Here. I try to say as always, but it doesn't always happen, does it, Susan? Anyhow. As you folks know, most of you, we use a moment of silence here in the town of Vinton so that everyone can pray or meditate as they see fit. During that time, if you would keep this country, this community, certainly this council meeting in your thoughts and prayers, and also the country of Ukraine. And while we're standing, we'll also have the Pledge of Allegiance. And Councilman Lyles, who's going to do that today?
We have the pleasure of having Harper Dibble here tonight,
Oh,
and she has graciously agreed to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
all right. Well, if you folks want to stand for that, please.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, thanks, Harper. Great job. Good to have you with us. And with that, we'll move to, well, let me remind you of one thing. The agenda is available at the door where you come in, and along with the agenda, you'll see our guidelines for conduct during this meeting. And with that, we will move to the upcoming community events. What we got going on, Vice Mayor?
Well, I do have a calendar of events here for the Vinton History Museum. We just got finished with the awesome Dogwood Festival that took place, so we'll probably announce town stuff later. I never got an email. But on May the 7th, which Saturday. First Saturday, Dulcimer concert from 11 to 12 at the Vinton History Museum. On May the 30th, the museum will be closed for Memorial Day, and June 4th is the first Saturday community ice cream social. And once again, thanks and hats off to everybody who had helped with the Dogwood Festival. Despite the rain, we had a great time, so Chastity did a great job of kicking in and going to Plan B.
That's true. A few changes, but things came off well, I thought. So. Any other announcements? No? Okay, if not, we'll move on to the next item, which is a request to postpone or change the order of agenda.
Mr. Mayor, I have one addition. I'd like to add an item G2C, if you wouldn't mind, another proclamation.
Yes, sir. We can do that, I think. Council, you have any objections? Yes, sir. Nope. Okay. Hearing no objections, we'll move on to the consent agenda. And tonight that contains the minutes of the regular meeting of April 19th, 2022. Are there any changes or corrections? If not, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Lyles, second by Vice Mayor McCarty. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right, and now to the fun part of the meeting, the awards and introductions. And we want to start this evening with Chief Drummond.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, town staff. This evening we have the distinct pleasure of not only introducing you all to one of our newest members of the Vinton Police Department, but also being president of his swearing ceremony. So at this time, I would like to request Ms. Susan Johnson to come up here along with Jesse Dibble, Deputy Chief Lawless.
I, Jesse Lewis Dibble,
I, Jesse Lewis Dibble,
do do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support
that I will support
the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Virginia,
the Constitution of the State of Virginia,
and the Code of the Town of Benton,
and the Code of the Town of Benton,
and that I will faithfully and impartially
and I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all duties incumbent upon me
all duties incumbent upon me
as a police officer
as a police officer
of the Town of Benton, Virginia,
of the Town of Benton, Virginia,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
With Officer Jesse Dibble is also his daughter, who you've had the pleasure of having the Pledge of Allegiance, and she will present him his Benton Police Department badge.
All right.
Deputy Chief Lawless.
We'd like to shake your hand too, if you don't mind, after.
Just 1 second.
Oh, one sec, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council, it's my honor to tell you a little bit about Officer Dibble. Officer Dibble was a military veteran who served his country in the Navy from 1994 to 1996. He has also been a sworn police officer since the year 2000. He started off his law enforcement career with Albemarle County Sheriff's Office, where he worked as an auxiliary officer and worked court security. In 2002, he accepted a job with Fluvanna County Sheriff's Office. He worked in various roles at the Sheriff's Office, which includes patrol supervisor, narcotics canine handler, SWAT team leader, field training officer, and also worked in narcotics investigations. He then joined the Franklin County Sheriff's Office in 2013 when he moved to Roanoke Valley. He served in Franklin County as an auxiliary capacity, but stayed very active in the patrol division and also the Marine Patrol on Smith Mountain Lake. He started serving his community at a very young age. He joined Orange County Rescue Squad at the age of 14 as a junior squad member and ran calls until he joined the Navy. Ironically, the truck number that he was originally assigned to was truck number 232, and that's kind of ironic because that is his badge number with the police department. He is very active in the community. He is a founder and director of the Master Sergeant George A. Banner Jr. Scholarship. George was a high school friend of Officer Dibble's, who was tragically killed in action in 2013. George was a Special Forces medic with the 3rd Group, 3rd Battalion, and to date the scholarship has been able to award 6 $1,000 scholarships to graduating JROTC cadets at the Orange County High School, and they will be giving away their 7th award, scholarship award, next Tuesday on May 10th.
Oh, great.
He is also the co-founder and vice president of Queen City Rucking for 22, which is a veteran and first responder-based 501c3 designed to align veterans and first responders with outreach programs to reduce veteran and first responder suicides. And to date, they have raised over $15,000. His daughter, Harper, who we have all met, is 11 years old. She is an avid dancer and takes after her father with charity work, as she has her own charity with the Ronald McDonald House, and they have raised over $3,000 over a 2-year period.
Wow, cool. Very cool.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you for coming. Thanks for the pledge.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Good job on that, please.
I feel safer already.
Well, I'd like to congratulate Chief and Captain. for the great job they did tonight, and also for the caliber of material, caliber of police officer that you're attracting to our department. The folks we've met recently have been very qualified people, and it's very, very encouraging to see that we're attracting that type of individual. So,
Yes, sir. Safe to say we'll probably learn a thing or two from Officer Dibble. You've captured that.
Officer Dibble, I don't have anything for you, but Harper, if you would come up here a second, please.
He got a badge.
This is better than a badge. This is a, well, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say that. These guys had firearms on their side. But this is an Invention pen. We'd like to present this for you, and thank you for doing the pledge and all the work you're doing with Ronald McDonald. Thanks. So welcome to Vinton. Okay. We'll move on to the proclamations, National Police Week proclamation. I'm sure Chief Drummond's got some comments, but I've asked Councilman Stovall to read the proclamation, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mayor, whereas the Congress and President of the United States have designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which it falls as Police Week, and whereas the members of the Vinton Police Department play an essential role in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of the citizens of the town of Vinton. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the problems, duties, and responsibilities of their police department, and that members of our department recognize their duties to serve the people by safeguarding life and property, by protecting them against violence or disorder, and protecting the innocent against deception and the weak against oppression and intimidation. And whereas the Vinton Police Department has grown to be a modern and scientific law enforcement agency and provides a vital public service. The week of May 15th to May 21, 2022 is proclaimed as National Police Week in the town of Vinton, and all citizens of the town and surrounding areas that are served by the Vinton Police Department are asked to observe this week and to join Town Council in recognizing officers for their faithful and loyal devotion to the duty and dedicated service to their community.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Chief?
sir. Thank you, Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, members of council, and Town of Vinton staff. It has always been clear to me and the officers of the Vinton Police Department of the tremendous support you all show us every day. Today, we recognize and honor those who have tragically lost their lives in the line of duty. Any American who gives his life in the defense of our communities deserves everlasting memories in our hearts. National Police Week gives recognition to those in our beloved profession that have lost their lives in the line of duty. Day in and day out, law enforcement officers throughout the nation fulfill their oath in office, and in 2021, 616 law enforcement professionals gave their life to the community they serve. To date, 111 officers have lost their lives while fulfilling their oath and preserving the way of life. Any officer who loses his or her life in our great nation strikes the core of our beloved profession. And during National Police Week, we recognize the thousands of police officers who have left us far too early, but left making an impact in our communities. May we find comfort in knowing that these officers have been promoted and now graduated to serve with our Lord. Our law enforcement officers wear a badge for the single principle of love of service and the preservation of the rule of law. It is our profession, the law enforcement profession, that preserves the sanctity of life in our great nation. It is selfless sacrifice in the final actions of those who paid the ultimate sacrifice that solidified that there is no greater calling than to serve others in a time of need. We are a profession built on the premise of safeguarding our beloved community. So during National Police Week, we honor the fallen, we reflect on the path of the law enforcement officer and the oath that we take. Our profession will always remain united by one common goal: to protect our communities and hold a fine line that separates order and disorder. As long as the law enforcement profession maintains the course of its mission, loyal to its community they serve, and devoted to our Creator, we will continue our noble path of prosperity that some have made the ultimate sacrifice defending. So in closing, I will end it how I began. Thank you all for the recognition and believing in the service we provide for our community. We are blessed to serve our community alongside each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. certainly appreciate those meaningful words and appreciate the service that you folks provide each and every day. We're very, very blessed to have such a qualified police department here in the town of Benton. We appreciate all you guys do, and ladies. So I don't think we could have a better police department, so we really are indebted to you guys. Benton's a very peaceful community, and much of that goes to the fact that we do have a great police department.
And it's an honor to serve, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I believe Ms. Adams has a picture. So we'll.
I don't have a pen, I'll tell you before I get there.
Did you guys want to add this?
And Harper, gotta put Harper in there.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
My included. Should I welcome him? Enjoy your dance class.
Thank you, folks, very much. And with that, we'll move to the next item, which is the GBS CIDP Awareness Month. And I've asked Vice Mayor to handle the proclamation, and I understand you want to make some comments too, right? Rick?
The month of May 2022 is proclaimed as GBS CIDP Awareness Month in the town of Benton, and all citizens are asked to recognize the importance of raising awareness of GBS and CIDP. It is my pleasure to present this proclamation to Rick Forney, who is the liaison for the local area chapter, serving as the link between patients, physicians, nurses, and families.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, everybody here. It's a very rare syndrome, and I was unfortunate 13 years ago, going on 14, to be struck with it. It came from drinking contaminated water. Within a matter of hours or half a day, I was in a hospital bed out of state, shattered femur, not knowing what's going on. Doctor looked over the bed, leaned in and said, "I'm not sure if you're ever going to walk again." At the age of 55, kind of hit me with a ton of bricks. Didn't know what to happen. Anyways, 14 years later, here I am. I got lucky. Said they knew something was wrong, and it took me a year or more to learn to walk. This is a very rare condition. 1 in 100,000 is subject to it. I happen to be the only one in the little town that I was at the time that was struck with this. There are other things that are worse. CIDP, meaning you have to have infusions every 3 to 4 weeks for the rest of your life. And that's not a good quality of life, but that helps them live for the next 3 to 4 weeks. And we are now in the process of looking for ways to stop this. I'm going to Myrtle Beach next weekend to do a fundraiser. We've done 5, and we've raised over $50,000, which is one research grant, to find out what costs this. And I appreciate what the town of Benton does. I can count on Benton. And I really appreciate it. I don't want to take up much time, but thank you very much, council members, everybody here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Well, Rick, thank you. We know that you've worked on this continuously for several years, so we appreciate you keeping that in front of us.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Glad you're doing better, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. I got you a
Yeah, several folks in this room.
Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Town Manager, I understand you have one other item.
Yes, sir, Mayor Gross, members of council. I'm going to try not to mess this up because the person I would usually rely on to help me with this I couldn't ask for her assistance in this case, but whereas the professional municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the professional municipal clerk is one of the oldest professions among public servants, and whereas the professional municipal clerk provides a professional link between citizens, the local governing bodies, and the agencies of the government at other levels, and whereas professional municipal clerks have pledged their mindful in their neutrality and impartiality of rendering equitable service to all, and whereas professional municipal clerk serves as the information center of functions for local government and the community, and whereas in 1984, President Ronald Reagan signed a proclamation officially declaring Municipal Clerks Week the first full week of May, and whereas it is most important that we recognize the accomplishments and the important function of the professional municipal clerk. And therefore, I, Bradley E. Gross, Mayor of the Town of Vinton, on behalf of Town Council and all of our citizens, do hereby proclaim the week of May 1st through May 7th, 2022 as Professional Municipal Clerks Week in the Town of Vinton, and further extend our appreciation to our professional municipal clerk, Ms. Susan Johnson, and to all other professional municipal clerks for their vital services they perform and exemplary dedication to the communities they represent.
All right.
It's the Susan Johnson Week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank y'all. That was not expected, but I enjoy what I do, and y'all make it easier. Thank y'all.
Well, you make it easy for us.
Yeah, exactly right. I can't imagine how we'd get through a meeting or anything without you, so we appreciate you so much, Susan. And Pete, good job. You snuck that in there pretty well.
It's hard to keep things from her.
I know. She has her hand in everything here, so.
Thank you very much.
But, well, thank you for the
Very
job
much
you do.
appreciate it, but I enjoy what I do.
Yeah, and it shows. All right. And with that, we'll move on to the next section, which is citizen comments and petitions. Don't see any. However, we do have a couple of special guests in the office, Ethan and Jim Cooper. And I don't want to catch you too much off guard, but so what are you guys doing here, man? You can just briefly mention it if you'd like. I understand you're working for a merit badge.
I have a few more to go before I'm an Eagle Scout. I've got 2 more ranks, but I should be done with this one soon, hopefully.
Good for you.
Awesome.
Congratulations, absolutely.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Way to go. Glad you're here. We're glad to be part of that. Anything else we can do to help, let us know. Congratulations.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
I don't see anything listed for the town attorney, but it's good to know that the rumors of your demise were highly exaggerated.
I'm glad about that as well.
Always good
I was stuck by the train, not run over.
Well, thanks for that clarification there. Always good to see you, Jeremy. And with that, we'll move on to the town manager section.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. And while Jeremy doesn't often have much to say, he does do a tremendous amount of work for us
Oh, yeah.
on behalf of the town, so appreciate that. I have no briefings this evening, but I have 2 items requiring action, the first of which I'll ask the Planning and Zoning Director, Anita McMillan, to present.
Mr. Mayor, Vice Mayor, and members of the Town Council, Mr. Laws and Mr. Stoll are intimately familiar with this project that has been going on for the last 2.5 years. And when my son keep begging for additional funding, so you all are very familiar with the Walnut Avenue Bicycle and Pedestrian Accommodation Project. And this is for the construction, engineering, management, and inspection services. The RFP for these services was advertised last year, and as of December, we because it is Virginia Department of Transportation project, we have to have selection committee. It's a long, tedious process, but we did receive 4. We interviewed 4 firms. They're all very qualified. Based on the selection committee, we decided to award the contract to Whitman Request and Associate, which is called as WRA. Since March, I worked with Mr. Carroll, the town attorney, to review so many documents. You guys have the 200 pages.
Oh,
The
my.
request for proposal for the firm, the scope of services and fee. So I do have before you resolution to authorize the town manager to sign the contract. The contract is for about 10 months, but hopefully we will get this project to be completed in 8 months. So as far as the contract itself, not to exceed $254,200. Because it is more than $200,000, Virginia Department of Transportation have to review what they call it FAR audit before we can proceed. That's why from January until now, we finished with all the review, with all the document. I'd be happy to answer any question. We did, in my report, the construction bid is supposed to be due this Thursday. We do have requests with the contractors to extend that. When we have the pre-proposal conference, they said that they do have issue with material and things like that. And then talking to VDOT Salem District, they feel that it's good to extend the deadline for the construction bid. So hopefully we get good bids since we do extend so far. At least I know that 4 construction companies have reached out for this project.
All right, all right. Thank you very much.
So move the resolution.
Okay.
I'll second.
I just want to thank you, Mr. Carroll, for being patient to review, and also now the construction bid manual is about close to 700 pages.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And then the site plan and Mark Popish is helping us with that.
All right. Thank you, Anita. And we do have a resolution by Councilman Stovall and a second by Councilmember Mullins. Are there any questions, comments?
Been a long time coming, but it's
It has. It has
getting
that.
closer.
Yeah. This is not one of those times when it looks like things fly through here really quickly, but like you said, it's been a long time coming, and Jeremy's been working on this for, well, this is your career contract, right? Only teasing.
Actually, the next one might be my
Yeah. Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any other comments? Susan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins?
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall?
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty?
Yes.
Mayor Groves?
Yes. Resolution passes.
Okay, for the next item requiring action, I have before you a resolution to authorize the town manager to execute a parking lot lease and right of first refusal for purchase of property located at 7 Walnut Avenue, owned by David McClung. So as previously briefed at the February 15th meeting, town has been working with Mr. McClung to negotiate this lease in consultation with our legal counsel. So essentially, we have a 10-year lease arrangement to lease the entire property for the purpose of developing a parking lot for public parking to support downtown businesses as well as our community events. What's unique about this particular property is that we've went ahead and negotiated the purchase price so that upon the property being available for sale, and there's some legalities of how the property transfers ownership to his trust. And so we went ahead and took the liberties of negotiating that purchase price so that we know exactly what it would cost upon time that we're able to purchase the property, should the town wish to do it at that time. Susan, if you wouldn't mind flipping the, so this is a proposed conceptual plan using the parking lot. And should we move to purchase the property down the road, then we will also have, obviously, use of the building should we want to renovate or convert that into something, or we could always tear it down and use the entire parcel for parking. So we're going to try to keep that in mind as we develop the parking lot. Jamie Hurd, our new capital projects manager, is going to manage this project, and he's meeting with a number of engineering firms to start planning out the scope of the work to somewhat meet the intent of this concept plan. So in hopes we can gain 100 plus parking spaces for this, and the strategic location of this is very ideal, flanking our opposite side of downtown and direct support of the farmers market and community stage. Some of the details of the agreement, as I mentioned, it is a 10-year lease. It's just shy of an acre and a half. The initial lease rate is $1,200 per month. Our base purchase price is $400,000, and that's based on the 2022 tax assessment plus a little over 6% over assessed value. This lease agreement, the lease will increase by 2.5% annually. So we know every year what the increment changes to the lease arrangement will be. And then there's, again, a mechanism to calculate the purchase price because there is an escalator built in so that the property values continue to increase over time. That's placed to the town's benefit, but also protects the value for the family. So upon that, I'll be happy to answer any additional questions you may have. Again, appreciate our attorney. He worked a lot on this project. It was a good opportunity for us. It just presented itself pretty quickly. And so after consultation with council and a number of negotiations with the owner, I feel like we've got a good option here for not only the lease and the parking, but eventually the owner.
Lease does have renewal terms, so if we decide to keep the lease in place, we can continue to renew the lease rather than exercising the right of first refusal. But I know Pete would have the expectation at some point of exercising that right, I think.
That is correct.
Right, and I just want to, you guys probably mentioned this, it's one thing I wanted to mention really quickly because I think it's so important. We already have a formula to determine the purchase price if and when we exercise that option, right?
That is correct, and it's actually spelled out in the document itself, at least the first initial 10 years. So anytime within those calendar years or fiscal years that we purchase it, the price has been predetermined. And then should we extend the lease and then make a option to purchase the property later, then that is also provided for.
Awesome.
The formula became a little cumbersome, I guess. We tried to streamline it a little bit.
Yes, it was based on CPI, the initial draft, and that would require a lot of staff calculations to go back over multiple years perhaps. So we negotiated kind of a flat escalator for both the lease and the purchase price that was, felt comfortable for both sides.
Great, great. Council, you have any questions, comments? If not, we'll entertain a motion to, as you know, you have a resolution before you that would approve the agreements as the town manager has outlined, so we'll entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution.
I'll second.
Motion by Councilmember Mullins, second by Vice Mayor McCarty. Susan, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lyles?
Yes.
Councilmember Mullins?
Yes.
Councilmember Stovall?
Yes.
Vice Mayor McCarty?
Yes.
Mayor Gross?
Yes. Thank you, Jeremy and Anita, for all the hard work that's gone into this, as well as administrative staff.
That concludes my report this evening. I have no project updates. I did communicate out a mayor's report to council earlier today, so both of my updates are provided in that report.
Great, great. Thank you, sir. And I don't see any reports from the committees, so we will turn it over to council. Councilman Stovall, you have anything further?
I want to echo what Sabrina said at the beginning of the meeting. I think Saturday just shows that, how we roll with it. And it worked out well. Naturally, we, Councilman Lyles and I, like the other council members, rode in a pickup truck. Unlike the mayor, who rode in a Mercedes. That's okay. But anyway, it was a great day. We had a good time and got it off, and it was good, and I will take Keith Lee down there. He made a comment. We first come out of the War Memorial. There's a comment that we used throughout the parade, and that was just quite frankly, thank people for coming. We just thanked them going down the road, thanking them for coming to the parade. And so anyway, that's my comments. Thank you.
At least you weren't in the back of the pickup truck.
Well, that's right. I wouldn't put me back there, but I thought it.
At least you had a ride.
I had a window. We had a window.
Thank you, sir. Ma'am, you have anything further?
I agree, Dogwood was wonderful. Arbor Day was the day before that. We had a nice little program at the library, and the mayor and I were just kind of blown away by some of the comments the kids made. They knew all about it.
Yeah.
They were ready to roll with the trees, and they enjoyed Smokey Bear, and it was a good day. And it's good to see my family here. Jimmy and Ethan are my cousins. I didn't know
Really?
they were going to be here. So
How
that's a
cool. I didn't
surprise.
know
So,
that.
Good job, Ethan. And go Dogs.
Yeah. Exactly right. Vice Mayor, you have any further comments?
No, just hats off to everybody who worked on the Dogwood Festival. I've worked on many events, and it's not an easy task, but it's a lot of fun for everybody that comes. So the people behind the scenes, thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Sir? Anything
Yeah,
further?
I had some stuff prepared, but Sabrina's stepping on my foot right now.
Kicking you.
Something about a hockey game tonight.
Yeah, I got you.
Like really short, so I'll just say it. Yes, the Dogwood Festival this year and every year is always a special time for our town.
Right.
And every year we pull it off.
Yeah.
Despite the weather, it doesn't really matter. Our citizens love it and they come out. And so now I'll shut up so some of our citizens here can get to the hockey game.
Yes, well, thank you, sir, and I will be very brief, too. I just want to add my comments. I thought the Dogwood was a lot of fun despite the weather. I want to thank Chief and Police Department for stepping in at the last minute. We had to change the crowning ceremony from outside to in here, so I appreciate your help. Even Town Manager even adjusted the PA system, so everybody just jumped in where we had to, and it worked. It worked. It was a lot of fun. And you're right, the Arbor Day thing was fun. Thank you, Anita, for arranging that every year. And I believe we've been a tree city now for, 20 years? 20 years. And that doesn't just happen one time. You have to reapply every year, and agree to do certain things. So I, too, surprisingly, will keep it short. I know you guys got
I may be
places.
stepping on his foot.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what that was? Okay. All right. Anything further to come before council meeting this evening? If not, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by leaving. Thank you, folks. God bless you.